we're here to support a movement across San Francisco to bring accountability to the government, which seems to be something it's lacked for quite a while in terms of spending on homelessness and the drug crisis and other areas.
And we're also here to support the people who are unhoused and living on drugs, that they're really not getting the sort of treatment that they deserve to make a full recovery and return to themselves and to their families and to their better person.
All right. So I want to.
Actually, could we just test the? Okay, go for it.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to give you each one of these. Do you recognize where this is from? This block of text right here.
It's the preamble, I believe.
Preamble.
Nice.
Of the Constitution.
The Constitution.
Yeah.
So the preamble contains the purpose of government. Anytime somebody takes an oath of office, they say, "I swear or affirm, support, defend the Constitution for the United States." What they're doing is they're promising to work on these things. They want to form a more perfect union, establish justice, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
So the question is for you two now is, are they doing that? This is what they promised to work on as trustees. Is that what they're doing? Are they doing that?
Is the government doing that?
Which government?
The one we have.
The elected government.
Yeah.
San Francisco?
I mean, at whatever level, right?
San Francisco, state,
National.
federal, yeah.
It's not a trick question.
No,
Yeah.
Well, they take the oath, to do this stuff, and in the day to day, well, not so much that, but at the outset, they might strive for the goals to form a more perfect union, establish justice, and ensure the domestic tranquility. And they might actually think they're doing that, but because of the way the system has worked for now, and the corruption that exists within it, the goals are not being achieved. So I think it's a matter of the intention versus the impact of their policies.
So what's your answer to that question? Are the trustees currently doing that?
To some extent, they are, and to some other extent, they're not. To some other extent, there's a lot of division, which makes not perfect domestic tranquility. The common defense, we don't always know who the enemy is, and so we have different ideas of who the enemy is. And in the city, for example, the enemy is drugs, and I don't see the kind of fight that there should be. And the general welfare should be everybody. I think that the people they're catering to are the unhoused and the drug addicts, but they're not catering to them in a way that is beneficial to them. They're catering to them in a way that is beneficial to the people who are doing the catering. I believe that there's a lot of money in homelessness, and if you were to eliminate homelessness completely, you would eliminate giant salaries of people who are involved in the homeless industrial complex, and I think that's what they want to preserve. They want to preserve their finances, not so much the interests of the general population. Justice, I see justice as being doled out to the people who they have, who they consider do their justice, but not others. A perfect union is something that we're always going to struggle to achieve, and that's just a big work in progress, and it takes on many forms. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Wilson.
The
Oh.
last
Yeah.
one more question is who is ultimately responsible for making sure that the elected government trustees do these things?
Well, I think we are right? The people, the constituents that put people into office. But I think it's become the case that we're disenfranchised in a way because we don't we don't have all the knowledge we need to hold people accountable. I don't think we have the resources. Um, I think if we only use the tools that are available to us now, we'll have limited. There's a limited possibility for success with that, unfortunately.
I think you have a difference of opinion in ways to achieve uh, these goals. And some people would tell you that the best way to achieve the goal is to give the victims all the rights and none of the responsibility. And other people, like myself, will say that the victims need to be taken care of in a way that we see differently from some other people. And that would be through some sort of holding them accountable for what they're doing that in the end would ultimately profit them by putting them into forced mandatory rehabilitation and getting them back on the street so they can get back their self-esteem and their self-worth and because once you get into drugs it tends to spiral downhill and you attract more people to drugs because it's easier to attract people to drugs than it is to attract people to do the right things. Doing the right things is very hard, and it requires a lot of effort. Where just kind of throwing yourself, to the wind and to drugs is easy. And then especially if people, this is what I'm looking for. The codependent. If they make you a codependent, then it's easy to just go with it and continue doing drugs and continue living in homelessness and I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think they would think that either. When you get so severely addicted, I think that you don't see a way out, and I think it's up to people, to the citizens, to help them out and give them a hand up, not to continue keeping them in that position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We're enabling them.
enabling. That's the word.
yeah.
Enabling them.
Yeah.
So I think it should be our goal to bring everybody up in this world,
To empower
if
them.
you're up there and go higher, and if you're down there, give you a hand up and give you what you need to regain your self-esteem and your self-worth and your self-respect.
Yeah.
That's my
Thank
opinion.
you. No,
Do you guys have anything else you want to say?
about government or anything. How do you feel about the government here in the city?
Well, we hope it's going to work more for us, for the people that pay all the taxes here in the city, so that things can do better, and we pay people to make sure that things work in the way we want them to, in the way that the streets will be clean, that people will be housed. But it seemed like none of that ever really happens. And every couple of years during the elections, it's just about saying, well, we need more money to do this and more money to do that, but nothing really ever gets solved. And I think there's people with good intentions within the city government, and maybe perhaps others who don't necessarily have those intentions. But either way, it's very chaotic and it's not working.
Do you think the hoping is working? Because you said we hope that they'll do that. Well, what would you, if hope isn't working, what would you think might work?
No, the hope that doesn't work in itself.
Yeah.
But the hope may be that the problem will get so bad that people who might actually have a stake in making our policy decisions will take action, because it will then affect their lives, and that the problem will get so bad that people who really have the large financial resources and policy making influence will be able to insert their own opinion into things. And so I think there's hope for that more than any other kind of hope that there is available right now.
Yeah. Thank you. Father and son, yeah? Okay.
And
Yeah.
I hope that people abandon terms like conservative and liberal and Democrat, Republican. I think these are all man-made things that don't mean a lot. In the end, I think we need to adopt terms like love, compassion, respect, help, aid, and really just show each other the feelings and the actions that will bring up society and benefit everybody, not just a select few, but everyone, especially the people who are really needy and are down on their luck. And that's about it.